Coach, how proud are you the way that the guys were able to not only secure the win, but just totally run away with it in the third period?
Well, we're obviously proud of the group. I thought we competed hard. I think it was a lot closer game than the score indicated. For a lot of the game, it was a close game. Montreal's a good team. They're a proud team, and up until I think what broke it open, and I said this to the guys after the game, was that fifth goal we got on the power play. That in the third period for me was a really important goal for us. And we talk about power play statistics and things of that nature, but for me, one of the biggest attributes of a good power play is the timing of when they score goals. And that was an example of it. So that's what our groups are capable of, both power play groups, and for me, that was an important one for us.
How much credit do you give to Jars for kind of keeping you guys in it through that, up until they were able to break the game open?
I thought he played extremely well. I thought he made, especially at the first half of the second period, I thought we got outplayed, and we took a bunch of penalties. Our line changes were sloppy, and we ended up chasing the game a bit, and we gave up a goal on one. We ended up with a penalty on another. And it gave them momentum. So I thought Jars was there to make some timely saves for us, especially in that first half of the second period. And it gave our guys an opportunity to grab a hold of it. And I thought we were better after that. But it's an important aspect of winning. You've got to get timely saves and at key times in the game. And I thought Jars did that for us tonight.
Nieto, that was his first goal in quite a while. Just how happy are you for him?
Oh, I'm pumped for him. He's been through so much just to get back, into playing condition. You think about it, he goes through 2 surgeries, an extended return to play process, just to get himself back into playing shape and in the lineup. So it's when a guy like him has an opportunity to score a goal, I think it gives the group a big boost because they know how hard he works. And they know the type of person that he is and what he brings to the team.
Montreal scored on the first shot of the game. I mean, I know that was a lot of goals ago, but just to stay mentally into the game, just in that early period in the first, how did you do that with your guys?
Well, it's there's so much of the game left, and that's the way we look at it. I think we'd like to manage the puck better in the high ice, and so. Give Montreal credit. They picked off the D-to-D pass. They got a good opportunity, and they finished on it. But there's so much of the game left. We're not going to let that one goal get in the way of our ability to try to dictate the terms out there. We just go back to work. And, that's pretty much what we did.
Like you and Bryan Rust have a very long history. When you sit back and see the player he's become in the last decade, how much pride does it give you?
It gives me a ton of pride. I just, when I think about him, when I coached him in Wilkes-Barre in 2015, he wasn't even on our first power play in Wilkes-Barre back then. He was a second-line player for us. He was a checking, energy guy that could really skate. He was a real good penalty killer back then. He entered the league, and he was a fourth-line guy that moved his way around the lineup, but was vitally important to that Stanley Cup team that particular year. I think back on coaching him in Wilkes-Barre. Now he was just a kid back then. Now he's married with kids and has evolved into a really good NHL player. A lot of his game, I think, flies under the radar for people that don't have the privilege to watch our team all the time with the things that he does. And, there's, for obvious reasons, our star power, I think, captures a lot of the attention of hockey people. But Rusty just is a guy that goes about his job every day. He's an honest player. He's a conscientious player, and he's evolved offensively to the point where he's a 30-plus goal scorer. So for me, he's just a complete player. He's a Penguin.
Your first line combined for 11 points, I think, tonight. How big is this line and these 2 players in your recent successes?
Well, they're a vitally important line. They're in a lot of ways that they drive our offense. And when they have a night like they did tonight, I think it makes us that much more difficult to beat. I thought all 3 of them were terrific tonight. I thought Sid was on his game. the way he commanded the puck and just his possession game down low in the offensive zone. There's nobody better in traffic and creating offense out of traffic and tight space than Sid. And those guys that play with him, you know, I think they've learned to play that game with him, and so they had a night for us tonight. That's for sure.
You think Sid has an extra pep playing in Montreal? I know he loves playing here.
He does.
Yeah.
He really does. He loves to play there, and I think every time we come here, I think he has an extra jump in his step.